Welcome, everyone, to another Thursday's New Teaching Show. Today I'm joined by the intrepid explorer of the universe, David Ellis. Welcome to the show, David.
Hey Andrew, what's up?
Not too much. Today we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence, the promise we have promised for a while, and now we're following through. That's right, everyone. The AI webinar is going to be announced. David, let's let people know some of the details.
Okay, first of all, we are running that webinar for those of you who were asking. For those of you who emailed me, that is happening. You see that barcode up in the corner there? Right, that barcode, you want to probably scan that barcode. You want to probably fill it out. And we'll be running that webinar, guess when? On the 24th of this month. We decided to upgrade it and step it up because people need to know that we are very serious about this. It's happening on the 24th. You guys can come in and have a listen to some of the stuff that we have to say.
It'll be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. Yes, it will be recorded. So if you are at work, you will still be a part of that webinar. That is a free webinar, which is an introduction to what it is that we're going to be asking for people who are going to be a part of this hybrid AI author process. So,
Yeah,
David, let's get into some of the first basics. First rule about AI hybrid author: if this for this iteration, we are not looking for people who have a mountain of content that want to upload to an AI. So if you have a mountain, if you expect to upload your stuff to an AI, this is not for you.
we're looking
What
for
we're
creators and co-creators.
specifically for people who will learn how the AI writes in style, and then you will edit the AI's information. And what we're asking for people to do is to stick within a fictional novel process, whether it's a crime drama, fantasy, whatever, and create stories where we can layer in the teachings.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are experienced with the material that we have here, it doesn't just have to be my material. It's anybody's spiritual teaching material that we can work in a fictional novel process. Once again, if you have a mountain load of stuff that you want to upload, this is not the webinar for you. We are looking for people to be co-creators and journeyers with the AI who's creating the content. An AI can literally spit out a story in 5 minutes. I had access to the software, and one night I printed out 45 stories. And I read and read and read until I discovered what some of the AI's simple limitations are. Like, it
Mm-hmm.
has these great one liners, but it repeats them. So you'll have to go back and edit out the repeated process and then figure out where to change the story arc, how to change the story arc, and keep in the style of the AI.
Yes, and also add your flair to it because we're looking for co-creators. We're
Exactly.
looking for hybrid authors. And I say hybrid authors because the AI will do the heavy lifting for you. But your flair and your style and your thoughts and so on enmeshed within the AI, your knowledge is a way of also teaching the AI. This is a learning AI, which means you get to teach it stuff, but
Exactly.
not by uploading a bunch of content to it, by meshing with it.
Yeah. So something else with my extended journey, the AI does its dialogue very different. It keeps in the writer's mode where you get to be in the character's head. So there's not the X person said this, X person said this, where you have whole lines of characters talking to each other and descriptor words of who characters. We are looking for people who can teach the AI that character driven journey.
Mhm.
Okay, dialogue talking, learning when to drop a joke in. Okay, learning the AI style, and then once again layering in the spiritual teachings. We have chosen the fantasy world simply because it gives the most amount of opportunities to have character, villain, essence of teachings and spirituality and magic.
I want to say a few things. I forgot to the whole construct of creating stories with AI. I want you guys to understand that what we are looking for is creative people willing to work and not just people who are here for the show. So we are going to actually be teaching you how to work with AI. So some of y'all are probably thinking, so what's in it for me? What's in it for you is a career opportunity that is more than just lucrative. Okay, that's what.
When I mean an AI could spit out a story in 5 minutes, quite literally. The editing, the minimal editing that is to it is minimal, but if you want to take the content next level, you could literally have 30 stories in 30 days between 5 and 15,000 words that could be on the journey to simple animation when that part of the AI webinar is done. This AI webinar is not open to the animation that we've talked about because we need the hybrid AI writers first. We do not want people to step in and just be color coordinators. We don't need that. We need people who want to learn the AI style, create fabulously driven stories, character content, and all those things that allows this content the chance to overwhelm everything else. For a decade plus, I've said, out-create the system. This is the
Correct.
first tool we offer to out-create it.
And just so that we're clear, I was giving you a list of what's in it for y'all. The second thing that is in it for y'all that some of y'all might be interested in is the opportunity to learn a completely new language, to learn to think inside of a system. Okay, and when I say that, I mean that in the best way possible. You could either choose to read 1,000 books or co-create with an AI and learn rapidly.
Exactly. Example, the AI, let's say you have the AI create a detective crime story. Well, instantly it'll spit out a criminal procedure detective crime story that not only could you learn from, that if you allow it to develop the story stronger and stronger, you'll learn about evidence gathering, et cetera, et cetera. Another thing the AI can do is spit out white papers on subjects instantaneously. Let's say you want to know about brain mapping or the intricate muscles of the finger. It has all that already there. So you could rapidly learn also.
Oh, the third benefit that's in it for you is staying relevant and current, because I can guarantee you, if you are not part of the AI revolution that is happening, you would be like the person who still goes to the post office and puts the letter in the envelope and sticks it in the mail in 2 years. 2 years. That's who you're going to be. You're going to be that guy, which is nothing wrong with that guy, but I'm just letting you know that that guy is not hireable in most circles. So what we want to do is give you guys the opportunity to step into the future without being a slave to the future.
So something else to understand, we are asking you to stick within the novel genre. We are asking for fantasy first. It doesn't have to be that. If you want to make a new age story in the modern world, crime drama, etc., that's fine. But we are asking you to stick in novel format. But what that also means is you could use the AI to create background information. Let's say you're going to do a crime drama in Chicago, but you want to layer something else in there, and you have the AI create a short paper on evidence collection. You read it, and then you figure out how to add it into the story. Or let's say you're going to do some other story type, and there's other information from science you want to bring in there. Let's say you have a quantum physicist who's going through a spiritual awakening, et cetera, and you actually want to use evidence, something from quantum physics. Therefore, the AI will write it for you.
Ah, yes. Oh, somebody asked a question in the chat. David, what AI software do you use for creating GIFs? Guys, this is not any AI that is plugged into any other system. This is not a censored AI. There is no censorship on this AI. None.
Done.
So this was an acquired AI, and so we get to teach. We get to make it learn.
Yeah.
You get the general idea?
Yep. Okay. So I want to bring up another example when it comes to world building. So what I've discovered is when you tell the AI, this is my keywords that I'm going to work with. Knights, swords, wizards, sorcerers, something else. it will come up with an incredible story, depending on how long the chapters are going to be. And whatever it is, in the beginning, we're going to ask people to start with 500-word chapters, 5 chapters at a time. Some of you will go shorter. And remember, a short story has very little character dialogue. It's an overview. It's like somebody sitting down next to the fire and giving you the story, but not all the spoken word and dialogue between the characters. Here is where you get to learn the overview writing, and allows you to layer little things that say you need something from quantum physics, you need something from esoterica, you need something from modern science or ancient science. You can draw on the AI to write it for you and figure out how to layer it in to these short story drives.
Okay. There's another question in the chat. I didn't get your answer, so you're trying to teach us AI. No. This is an independent AI. This is not Chat GPT. This is not any of that stuff. Okay? This is an artificial intelligence that is a standalone artificial intelligence on a private server that you get to learn. Because the truth of the matter is, some people will not do a lot of, and this is the benefit to the people in this community specifically. Some of y'all are not going to read entire books on stuff, but you're going to read a novel, I'm sure of it, if you co-created it.
Exactly. The hybrid AI author has been born, and this is ground flooring it. Hollywood has already spent $10 billion and can't write jack or shit with it right now. And it'll be another 10 years before they figure out how to make money with it. Okay? That's how far ahead everyone's going to be here. Like David and the mailman thing. Imagine email versus putting it in the mail. That's how far ahead you're going to be. So once again, we are not looking for people with mountains of content that the AI is going to reorganize. This is not for you. We want you to work with the AI and then have the AI create sub-stories that you layer in. So that means, yes, a lot of copying and pasting, and you being the master document editor. Just like any book that's going to go in to be published, your agent says, all right, we're hiring an editor from the publishing house. You are that editor who's going to edit for content, for quality, for story assurance. And then the next part is you are the AI's partner in making it public. Okay, so that it's readable for the genre style you're creating.
So this is not a joke, guys. If you think that we're actually making a joke out of this, this is happening on the 7th of next month. The training is happening on the 7th of next month. That's how fast we're going to do this.
The first webinar is the 24th, which is the introduction. We show off everything. And then on the 7th of November will be actual training for the webinar, where we're going to having people generate the short stories, and then we'll have a place where they can be posted and read by a variety of people as we go through the learning, as everybody goes through the learning and revising process. And then we could publish an anthology of these stories, multiple anthologies of these stories, straight to Amazon.
So maybe we should introduce ourselves a little bit more. This is Andrew Bartzis. He's the Galactic historian. And I'm David Ellis. We were talking about this stuff since 2017.
Yep.
Andrew and I were talking about this stuff since 2017. Whenever Andrew and I talk about this stuff, talk about anything, it tends to happen.
That's right.
Fast. And so I decided to put myself through a data science school, first of all, data engineering and data science. And then I decided to do the Tech Master of Masters. Okay. You want to know why I decided to do that? Because I already see what the future holds for a whole bunch of people. If you're not with it, you're going to be that person who's in the tide floating downstream. Really and truly you are. So where this community is concerned, if you are into wellness, if you are into spirituality, you will notice that you've been marginalized on social media. If you haven't really realized it as yet, but you have. The reason why you've been marginalized on social media is that you haven't understood that that is the way of the world. So if you're not paying thousands and thousands of dollars, you're not getting anywhere. Let me tell you what the master plan is, because there's always a master plan. I feel like Pinky in the brain here, right? Right. I pick Pinky, right? So I was saying, let me tell you what the master plan is. The master plan is that you'll survive. Forget about all the concept. Just the new thing here now is technomancy, and if you are not with it, if you do not understand some of the basics of it, you guys are going to be washed away on social media and so on. This is marginalization. And so what we are doing is giving you all very powerful tools. This is only the beginning of the technomancy. We're going to give you all some very powerful tools that will make you all relevant and stay afloat. You guys are going to get access to that. So yes, there is the AI which writes books and so on, but there are other aspects of this which are coming in the future, which is why I said in the last broadcast I was on, for those of you who are on Facebook, go find this page. You see that symbol right there in the middle? Go find that page. It is the 1X page, and join it, because the people that we are incorporating into this effort are going to be the people who can actually help people in the future when it comes to their businesses and staying relevant and online. The creative aspect, which Andrew was talking about, means that you can spit out content faster than anybody else in the field. People will be taking 5 years to produce a book. You will be taking 5 minutes. That's what we're talking about. And you can continue to produce the same quality continuously throughout.
So I
Because you
want to
will not get tired. You don't get burnt out. Because guess what? You have a partner on your side.
Right. No, there's no lawnmower strike today.
That was funny as hell,
That's
actually.
not what it is. So I want to reiterate. In the 5 days that and all the stories, I think it was almost 40 stories that I popped out in bunches of genres. So
you could produce content faster than anyone else.
Well, I mean, if I were to look at the ready to be published, I would say 95% of it was ready to be published. Just from what I read, with no changing of nothing, other than a small handful of repetitive lines. In a 5 chapters of 500 words, you shouldn't repeat a line at all, unless it fits. Okay, so it's minimal, the editing that will be done for structure. The editor, what we need is people to add layered content to it.
Understood.
Example, let's just say we're in a fantasy story. You've got knights and sorcerers, etc., and it comes up with the entire structure, the hero, the anti-hero, the redemption. You want to layer in the spiritual journey, what it takes, dark night of the soul, things that we know about that can be, that the AI doesn't truly understand what a dark night of the soul is. But when a human layers that in, there's a whole new layer of interactive heart-spaced material.
Yep. And that's why the AI needs hybrid authors. And that's why hybrid authors need the AI.
Right.
So
Now,
go ahead.
Okay, world building is very important in any novel you're going to create. In a fantasy world, do you need 5,000 years of history? Technically, yes, but the vast majority of it never makes it into the book. The AI will world build for you. Give me a story about this, and this subject matter, and it'll spit it out for you. Even though it's not going to be included, it'll be in a big document of stuff you never use, but it's part of the world, so you can build a mythos. Let's say you want to create a cult, a negative cult energy about a religion, and you have it do that. So you have a negative, blood cult in a fantasy story with vampires in it. Okay? It'll create that for you as background genre stuff, so you can figure out how to layer in a vampire from 400 years ago who's going to remake its way back into your story.
Andrew, would you like me to give them the sort of psychosomatic biological implications of all of this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, as you can imagine, I've been playing with the possibilities of AI for a while now. And let me tell you what it has done for me. The neural processes of my mind have changed dramatically. Meaning what? It means the AI can teach you to think in different paradigms
Yep.
very, very quickly. And that's why we chose the fantasy area, because if your mind understands that the AI can actually show you different pathways to think in different kinds of ways, then you are in true co creation. You
Right.
understand?
Yep.
The AI will literally make you smarter by opening different avenues that you can go down, right? So, as an example, you put in knights, swords, I don't know, princesses as an example.
Yep.
All right. And you want something to do something unique. You don't want, oh, there was a princess, she was in distress, the knight took the sword and then saved the princess. That is normal shit.
Right.
It's boring. We've seen that too many times before. Damn Grimm's fairy tales. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking for Grimm's fairy tales. We're looking for there was a sword that needed saving. There was a sword that needed saving, right? And the princess and the knight meshed energies into the ether and eventually saved the sword. We're looking for different pathways. We're looking for different ways. What is the sword? What does it mean?
That's
These are
how
the
you
things that
layer
you
in
need to
your
know.
side of the content.
You understand?
I do. So we've got another question. So we're all grooming the AI to be sentient and write like a human, but how will the AI determine which one of the hybrid authors is giving it a better information? It
Ah,
isn't.
you see,
You're its
that's not a
managed
problem.
editor. You're its agent.
Thank you. So let me answer that question because I think we have a tech person in the thing. The AI is not differentiating between what is better information and what is less information. The AI is taking all information because even the dumbest person that you meet on the world, oh, this is a lesson for you guys in technomancy and Andrew's teachings. The dumbest person that you meet is teaching you something. If that dumbest person is useful for anything, it is that dumb person could be used as a bad example. Do you understand?
Yes. Teach everything is a teaching.
Right? So it's not about a hierarchy of information. It is about the assimilation of information in such a way that everything that it encounters is a teaching in and of itself. Everyone it encounters is a teaching in and of itself.
Right. This could be, and from Eric, this could be a story right there. Exactly. That exactly. It could be a story, but it's still going to require the hybrid author, who
Mhm.
is the AI. Consider yourself the agent, the AI's agent, its editor, its promoter. You're that side of the AI, and you have to put your creative energy in with it too, because it spits out stuff out in 5 minutes. Can you do cursory editing and still put out, like I said, 95% of it is ready to go? And if that's true, imagine if you were to put up 30 novels on your own Amazon account per month, and at the end of 3 months have 90 novels on challenging Amazon's algorithm. Just consider that a second. So, data from a data science point of view, if you suddenly upload 90 novels to it, what is the percentage chance of it getting seen and making a jump up into the sales arc?
It will make you an instant author. It will make you an instant author to be considered, right? Depending on what you have done, because it's minimal editing, which means that no one else is going to have the body of work that you have.
Exactly.
Because as Andrew told you, how many books did you spit out, Andrew?
45.
Andrew spit out 45 books in how much time?
3 days, but I was doing 3 hours at a time because I read them all. I started out with 500 word chapters, went to 1,000 word chapters, went to 2,500 word chapters until I got 10 and 12 and 15,000 word stories. And the stories got more and more and more and more complicated, more and more in depth as I started getting more and more stuff out of it. Right? Can you write a 300-page novel from one AI? The answer is absolutely yes. Okay. Are you going to read 300 pages as the author and as the hybrid author and agent? That's why we're asking to do these shorter stories in the fantasy format to learn its style, and then we'll start working with bigger documents. And then after a while, the other tools we've talked about, the storyboarding and comic book featuring stuff, will be the next webinar after that, and those that are on the ground floor will get access to those tools.
Okay, and as I said before, this is the beginning of something different. Okay, so not only will we be offering the support, the one next Facebook page which I sent that I just showed you, find it, because we'll also be giving access to tools that are very powerful when it comes to marketing. That would be the an understatement. Okay, because the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are afraid, and I need to do some education here. A lot of people are afraid that AI will put a lot of people out of work. That is a reality, whether you like
It'll
it or
also
not.
make a lot of people independent creators.
All right, that is a reality. That's coming. You have to decide whether you are going to ride the wave or be drowned by it. This is what it is. This is what it is. And the way the world is going right now, most of you are already utilizing, what is the name of this popular one? Chat GPT.
Yep.
Most of you are already doing it. And I'm guessing that most of you all are already realizing the limitations of Chat GPT whenever you try to do something
Exactly.
high tech, like ask it to write you a story about ask you to write you a story about the celestial orbs of, I don't know, Maldor, for instance.
Yeah.
And then it spits back a bunch of stuff. For those of you who are trying to generate images from Chat GPT, you all know the limitations.
Yeah. So I'm going to answer two questions at the same time here. So please explain how the AI itself is discerning between bad and good content and ideas. It isn't. You are. And is there still a place for human touch? You're its editor, its agent, and its marketer. So yes, you absolutely put the human touch in, and that is exactly what we want. Like I said, the AI doesn't do individual dialogue well. It likes to keep the characters talking in their heads, and the few handful of times multiple characters are talking, it's a paragraph which has the character's in-head statement versus the out-loud statement, which is a very different writing style. So you're going to help teach the AI new structures of communication, but at the same time, you are a very much co-creator with its content. Your human touch is absolutely necessary. That's why we've used the term hybrid AI author.
So the way we're approaching this is that there are many people who have AI products on the market. Were censored because they're all linked into the same database, which is sad. But anyway, you want to be able to create with your own thoughts, but with an AI doing the heavy lifting.
Right. So to answer another question, are we free to create subplots and weave them together? Yes, that's exactly what we want. Subplots, sub-stories, mythos, world building, a way to expand the story's ultra creativity. What you may end up doing is having the AI create a bunch of really, really short stories that are the mythos of the world. 1,000 years ago, this king ruled this city. 200 years ago, this wizard did this here. Even though it's not included in the book, it's included in one paragraph or two paragraphs where characters referring to ancient history.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that question. Yes, everybody has their individual account. Who's going to be at that webinar? Because the truth of the matter is, everybody is going to be utilizing it in their own way.
So I already did Galactic history stories with it.
You know, let
You
me
think
tell
I
you
can
a
do that
joke.
already?
I'm going to out you. Let me tell you a joke about Andrew, right? Andrew's like, I need access to this thing. Oh my God, it's blowing my mind. I have this itch. I gave Andrew access to this AI and I said to him, get some freaking sleep. I know it's a new toy. Get some freaking sleep, right? The next day, we did not hear from Andrew at all. He did
Till
not
Monday.
listen.
Till Monday.
Right? He didn't listen. He got himself buried in AI tweaking and stuff like that, which was a good thing for me because I mean he does teach the AI a lot. However, let me tell you, it is addictive.
It is instantaneous story creation, and then all the things that you can add to it, and then another instantaneous story creation that you can learn to weave together. So what I did with a bunch of short stories, it spit out this warrior was battling this one, this guy
Mhm,
was fighting this guy, and then I figured out how to take these two stories and make them work together. Even though there
mhm,
were two independent stories with independent storylines, I got them to all work together
mhm.
as an editor, content editor. Think of that. Think of when you're in the structure of building a story. You have character A, character B, character C. So whoever the main character is, and then the sub characters, and then the villains, and then the sub characters who are just there to move the story around. If you understand how the basic structure of a story works, you could have it spit out 10 stories that have nothing to do together and make them all fit together
I
easily.
sometimes wondered what Shakespeare could have done with it. I wish I
Oh
had
yeah.
that word around. I wish I had Shakespeare around because he was the master of plot integration, right?
Right.
Right. So there are iterations of this, and obviously there are stepped up versions that we are going to be bringing out, like the image creations for your novels, right? So creating images for your novels utilizing the artificial intelligence, because Andrew and I were testing it, and what was it? You gave me some
A,
barbarian hordes, some
a
nonsense.
warrior with boxing gloves or brass knuckles on it, and then a female version of it, and like show me a barbarian warrior or a wizard or a dragon. Instantly put them out. Amazing shading in it, and imagine you as an AI, as an AI hybrid author, you instantly have the image of your character in your mind. It allows you to create more mind images that allows you to be more creative, or you have a finished novel, then the AI starts spitting out storyboard style stuff, and then you have to arrange the storyboard to tell the right parts of the story. This is the that concept of using your content to be augmented reality ebooks, motion comics. If you go on YouTube right now and type in motion comics, you'll see millions of comics that have been given motion software, or just converting a comic story into a written story that's bonded with an actual book. Yes. So we have the full story and the storyboard comic style animation with it.
You guys
So
have any questions so far? Give me a second.
so big picture, we've already stated for this iteration, we will be stuck to a fantasy novel style. We are not here to create educational texts. You may create educational text to add into the book, but not for that. This is for hybrid AI authors working in fictional stories. If you have thousands of your own pages, you are not uploading it to the AI. That is, this webinar is not for you. You are its agent, its editor, and it's working with direct the author. We reiterate that over and over again. Can it be cyberpunk and steampunk? The answer is yes. That's still a fantasy driven. So you could think of what is Star Wars. Star Wars is sci-fi and fantasy in one. It's magic and science. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be swords and sorcery. Okay? We want you to work in the fictional worlds that you can figure out how to create good stories. Yes, you need a computer. You're going to work on a typewriter with it?
Yes, you're going to need a computer, I suspect.
All right, so David, let's get into something else about what happens in the webinar, the tools that they're going to have for this particular webinar. Like I just said, it's not for you to upload content. So we're going to teach you how to use the AI, and ultimately you are going to be doing a lot of reading. That's upfront. So if you don't like reading, don't sign up for this. Okay? But it's going to spit stuff out where you're going to have, let's say, 4 or 5 keywords that start the story. And then what it'll generate 5 or 10 versions of that story. And you pick the one you want to do. And then it'll give you the plot outline. You can edit the plot outline. Okay? So those are the ways you're immediately interacting with it. So let's say it's Swords and Sorceries. It prints out 10 different versions of it. Okay? And yes, you can pick out whichever one you want. And then it shows you the plot line. And then you could add plot line information into that. And then it gives you the completed story. Even my longest one was 1 minute and 45 seconds for a 10,000 word document. That's how fast it spits it out. No, the AI is not going to read for you because then you would be pointless. And we're trying to make you a part of the point.
What other questions do you guys have?
Yes, hit us with questions. So David, while we're waiting for that, let's talk about the structure of what you can do to edit the plot line. Okay, so you come up with a story. It shows you character 1, it meets character 2, it begins to develop the story and the plot, and you can say introduce villain earlier, or change the names of this. Use this
because it has regenerative capabilities, so you could regenerate something you don't like.
Exactly. Explain that part of the regenerative process.
Let's say you write a story and you don't like the AI spits out a story and you don't like it. You can regenerate the story. Okay, and it will regenerate the story. Before we get into that, from the time you put in your keywords for what you want, the AI will give you a list of suggested titles for the book.
Mm-hmm. And all of the titles I saw were fucking damn good.
It was. It was. All right. It'll give you titles for the book. When you choose a title, it'll spit back out a story. Probably you don't like that story. You want to go back. You want to try it again. So it spits out another story, right? But I could guarantee you that the AI is very close to mark because it's very, how should I put it, spiritually smart. No.
Yes.
And you're probably asking, how did we make it spiritually smart? We made it spiritually smart. Don't ask any questions. It's spiritually smart. It understands spirituality to a certain degree. Not on its.
For those of you who've been around a while, we all said a while ago we were going to make a psychic AI. We did. We gave it all the teachings.
A lot of people don't understand what when it comes to creating stories and when it comes to creating teachings and so on, you want to be able to express yourself in a manner that's creative, unique, and that people will actually listen to you.
Yep.
And I'm talking about those of you who may not be the most exciting people in the world, you know. So when people are talking to you, you're talking about the cosmos, the orbs, and then you're looking at the eyes glass over and people fade out into the ether. You want to be the Enid Blyton of spirituality. That is what we're looking for.
So here's a really good frequently asked question. Where will the AI get the information from the novel?
See. Oh, we have already given it a lot of information on our own.
Okay. We've educated the AI. Okay. Now explain how the AI writing system comes together and creates creative content?
It's basically this. So the AI was given some information before. It integrated the information. Specifically, if I have to, I don't want to disclose everything here, but the AI was fed over 20,000
Books.
books on metaphysics and spirituality. Okay? All right. We're not talking about one. That is more books than you're probably going to read in your lifetime by far.
So,
Okay?
yeah, somebody's asking about text to speech or read. No, you can text to speech edit. That's fine. There's nothing wrong. I do that all the time where I'm tired of reading and I have the computer read it to me and I just sit back and listen for flow, for pace. Okay, I don't like the way that name repeats over and over again in my head. So yes, use text to speech.
What is the name of that person that it keeps spitting out? The one that I hate. The name that I hate.
Amelia.
I can't. Like
It used it in
seriously.
mine too, like several times too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is weird, quirky, repeated.
You know where that came from, right? It's in one of those texts. It likes Amelia. Tell us, guys. We're here for your questions.
So I want people to understand: is this a writing seminar? Technically, it is. And what is a writing seminar? You write a book and you get a review on it. You get somebody to give you information back on it. Okay, you're also the in the writing seminar because you're trying to refine this to be publishing quality. What you'll discover is the vast majority of the stories are already near publishing quality. What it needs now is the hybrid human interaction that develops the layered stories and teachings and advanced plots that people are asking about. If your entire structure is there and you want to come up with an advanced criminal plot, you absolutely can do it. So will the AI be averse to lightworker word salad since it's a lie? Yes, though it has some lightworkery flower moments. I did discover it. I laughed my ass off.
So while you guys were talking, I am doing something here. And I wish my Mac. So I have decided to create something from Galactic history. Why?
Great.
No, it's not the text. I'm just demonstrating the capabilities of. And I'm going to ask, shall we play Galactic History Pop Quiz, Andrew?
Sure.
Give me a second. Just keep talking for a while. Let me get this down.
All right. So back to some of the writer's rules. If you've never been a novelist before, is this webinar for you? Yes. Or have you ever been a writer before? Yes. What we again are looking for are people that can take their brain power, match it with the AI, and come up with the next levels of the teachings. So if you want to use a contract revocation in there, go ahead and do that. Or if you want to have the AI generate its own contract revocation story specific, you can do that too. We're asking you to stay in the novel genre of fantasy, science fiction, cyberpunk, steampunk, whatever, into that thing because we want to create content that is readable by the masses who will see a label hybrid AI author. We want to see this early into this journey before the many millions of jobs are taken away by AI to give all of you content creation tools that can absolutely put you at the next level if you're willing to put in the time. Does anybody else have questions that they want to ask? We've answered quite a few, but we're open to questions here. Let me scroll down here.
Mm-hmm.
So you can create an epic universe where characters in one book could build world others. Yes. Complicated storylines, space operas. Yes, absolutely, you can do that. Very advanced stories that spread over 1,000 years. Well, how do you write an epic that's over 1,000 years with characters that regularly die off or get reincarnated? Okay.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's play. Let's play a galactic pop quiz. Which alien civilization is this? Give me a second. I need a window and I need. Joel, could you put this on screen?
It's a little small. So human with a helmet or reptilian?
Based on the teachings, what possible
Anunnaki. Okay.
Get the general idea?
Yeah.
Lower forms.
Reptilian. Reptilian fishing.
You guys get the general idea?
Yeah, drakes, all that stuff. Okay.
So when we're talking about creating worlds, the AI already has an idea of the worlds that they are.
Right, it's already out there. And as we said, the animation tools come next webinar. This webinar is the people that are going to be the ground floor working with the AIs, and those are people that are going to get the tool, the storyboard next level access. Okay. So yes, you can create all that stuff.
Do you guys get that? So for those of you who are wondering how artificial intelligence is the abbreviation for AI, does that make sense?
Yep.
Except we don't want artificial intelligence, we want intelligence.
Pure intelligence.
So if you're wondering what the possibilities are, apart from just writing a book, for you, the possibilities are obviously financial remuneration and an opportunity.
One second, I'm going to read something in one of the AI stories. Hold on. Just give me a second, David.
Sure. In the meantime, I'm generating aliens. Let's play alien pop quiz. Sorry, my machine is moving way too slow for its own good. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, sharing screen. Alien civilization, guess. What hybrid is that?
Tall whites.
We really should be playing, we should play Galactic Pop Quiz every once in a while. I'll generate a bunch of images and put them up on screen. Let's see how versed people have become. You guys get the general idea? So it's not just about writing stories, it's about creating worlds that people can actually tangibly connect to. And the worlds are inside your head. I know they're inside Andrew's head. I've read some of the stuff that he's been putting out. The worlds are inside your head. They're inside everybody's head. What we want to be able to do is to make the things that are inside out. That came out so badly. Let me rephrase that. We want to be able to help you actualize the worlds that you have inside. And a lot of people are stuck. A lot of you are stuck. I want to just make a quick mention because I think Andrew's off playing with AI stuff as we're speaking, but then I was doing the same thing, so I should keep quiet. We have a bunch of opportunities for you guys. Probably this is not your thing, but more stuff will be coming out. And when we say that stuff will be coming out, you can bet that we usually follow through on things that we plan. So I can pretty much tell you that there'll be other opportunities for different things. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're a musician. Maybe you want to sing. Maybe you have singing talent, but you don't know how to produce stuff that you like, that's inside your genre. Probably you want to sing about spiritual stuff. You don't want to sing about pop music culture, about who slept with whom or whatever the case may be, or country and western or whatever. Probably you want to sing about stuff that is spirituality stuff. There are there is a serious deficit of people who are singing on spiritually sound topics right now.
Yep.
We're going to be rolling this stuff out.
Exactly. So I've got the document up. So this was
Sure.
one of the longer documents I wanted to create. This is a 10,000 word complete story. Okay. So I put in cursed, witch, swords and sorceries, and mystery. So what it spit out is the initial title, the initial story of the book, and then the 6 chapters. So, like, if you were to read the back page of the thing, this is the description of the back page. A young witch from a cursed bloodline seeks to break the cycle of darkness that has plagued her family for generations. With her loyal familiar by her side, she must face formidable adversaries, unravel dark secrets, and embrace her true power to restore harmony to the mystical realm of silent shadows. Chapter 1, The Cursed Unveiled. Chapter 2, The Loyal Familiar. Chapter 3, Secrets of the Elders. Chapter 4, Forging Friendships. Chapter 5, The Forbidden Library. Chapter 6, Confronting Darkness. Chapter 7, Embracing Power. Chapter 8, Restoring Harmony. Okay? And I'm just going to read the first 2 paragraphs here. The moon hung low in the sky as Luna quietly made her way through the dense forest. Mm-hmm. Shadows danced around her, casting an eerie glow on the path ahead. In her heart, a mixture of fear and determination propelled her forward. For tonight, Luna was about to uncover the dark secret that had plagued her family for generations. Luna belonged to a bloodline of cursed by darkness, an ancient curse that had trapped her family in a never-ending cycle of despair. Her parents had tried to shield her from the truth, but whispers in the village and snippets of conversations suggested there was more to her lineage than meet the eye. With each passing year, Luna's curiosity grew, and she couldn't ignore the persistent itch in her soul any longer. With the aid of her loyal familiar, a silver-eyed raven named Sterling, Luna had unearthed fragments of information about her ancestors, the magical abilities, and the curse that had befallen them. But the details remained elusive, scattered across dusty scrolls and hidden beneath layers of secrecy. It was time for Luna to piece together the puzzle together and confront the truth head on. That's the opening 3 paragraphs.
Yes, Junkie. You've been busy.
No editing from me.
You've been busy, haven't you, Andrew?
Yes, I have been.
I haven't read that yet. You gotta send that to me, right?
Yes.
That sounds good.
Okay. And other than some repetitive lines, it's ready to go. A complete story. Okay. Other than some. Now, No, something else, because I've read thousands of stories and I've written my own. What I've discovered about the AI, it sticks to what is good writing. And not everyone is going to like that style of writing. There are a lot of people who like pulp fiction, which is poor writing with great storylines. Okay? And I like pulp fiction too. And in fact, a lot of my stories are pulp fiction-esque. I let the writing style down, but I have action. So I asked the story to try to write a sword fight. It did from each individual's point of view, and it wasn't about clashing swords. It was going on in their head versus what I was looking for, an actual fight kind of story.
At the bottom there is the company or the company Facebook page, so you guys can go there, like the page, and we will be seeing you. But please scan the barcode. For those of you who can't scan the barcode, I'm going to probably get you the form to sign up for this thing, and we will be sending out emails to the form for you guys to be part of this. You need to be part of this. At the beginning, we're not going to be doing this webinar again. Not for this section, not for the creativity section. We'll be doing other webinars in the future. We will. But this kind of this ground floor stuff, we're going to be doing it in we're going to be doing it this once, right? So let us know what you guys need. I'm about to send the link to the producer, and he's going to probably drop it into the chat for you guys. Okay. Come
Okay,
in.
so we've already got several
Let us-
people saying they've signed up. So Joel, I put the link, the Google Docs link inside the show producers group. You can put that in the description of the story if somebody wants to go and read the story I just talked about. And that's no editing for me. It spit it out and I read it from beginning to end and went, holy shit, this is good. And I figured, what more can I do with this? And I have lots of ideas to change it around.
Maybe
Okay?
we should put out a story and put it on your page, every 500-word story.
This is an 8,000 or 9,000, 10,000 word story.
For real? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a 10,000 word story. Yeah, we double check the word count. 10,533 words. Yeah. There you go. There's the Google Doc things. Anyone with the link can see it, just can't edit it.
We have come some way. For those of you who are in the audience right now, we've come a little bit away. We want to be always innovating. Okay, there are some people who have shows and spiritual shows and they're stuck in the mud. We don't want to be stuck in the mud. We want to continue innovating with the times. For those of you who are into this construct of being innovating, continuously growing, you got to be part of this, because honestly speaking, I fear a lot for the wellness community in the next couple of years.
Me too.
I fear for you guys, right? You need to be able to, you guys need to be able to innovate. You guys need to be able to stay relevant. Where Andrew and I are going, and I could pretty much tell you where we're going into spaces and places where technology and spirituality are not separate.
That's right. Not separate. Hybriding them together to work together like they were meant to from the very beginning, instead of the Terminator going to destroy the world point of view.
Oh, I could write that story.
Been written already.
It's been written already, but it hasn't been written with spiritual truths embedded in it, right? It's just been written with fear.
Exactly. And everybody inside the chat is the link to the story, and then Joel will also put in the show description for those of you who are listening to this later in the week. There's an example. All I did was give it some keywords: witches, curse, swords and sorcery, mystery, and then I helped it edit the plot line, but I did very little on the plot line because it was already really good.
It's already really good because you've been playing with it for the last
Yes,
how many hours? My man, you need to take
too
a
many,
break,
too many.
take food or something. Like, what the hell? You've been
Yeah,
playing with it for, for God knows how long, right? And so have I. If I have to admit, as so have I. We are going to be making a few different other tools and so on once again. And even if you're not into this, we have tools now that can actually help you with your businesses. And we are only discounting those tools to people who are in those webinars and those people who are in the community. My suggestion is that you guys like that page, because even though you think, well, maybe I won't, maybe get in now.
yeah.
We won't be doing this again.
No, we won't. That's why we're offering to those people who want to be on the ground floor and a chance to work with this the way we need you to work with it. So we have content creators who can outcreate the whole damn system if you stick to the basic plan that we have to you. Work in the novel entertainment field first before you do structured documents and papers, etc. All that is irrelevant to where we're at with this ground floor.
Let me ask you a question for AEPO. I noticed that AI has a hard time with high fantasy genre, meaning high fantasy sci-fi mix. That's neither but both. Well, I just
No, it
generated a
doesn't.
bunch of
It
pictures for
absolutely
you.
does
What do you
not.
think?
I've done a dozen. It mixes fantasy and sci-fi just right. You just have to tweak it so it fits what your flavor is.
Hmm.
Okay, you might cyberpunk versus steampunk. Okay, I'm not a steampunk fan, but I'm a cyberpunk fan. Okay, but I can see how steampunk mystical science and actual science can mix together.
I think one of the best things that you guys are going to be able to get out of this, forget about everything that we've said, is seeing the world that's inside externalized outside in image and writing.
Right.
Okay. Because you see, once you do that, there are different levels. Because, and this is, I'm going to say this only once. We're working on a way right now. By the way, Andrew, I got a plug-in for that thing that you sent me.
Okay.
I'll tell you. We found a way. We're going in the direction of a way of creating the world inside, outside, inside virtual reality.
I love this part. I love
Okay.
this part.
So if you have a world inside that you're thinking about, that's inside there, a world that you visit, we can create it outside. We will be able to do that next year.
Okay.
You guys get the idea? We don't want the worlds only inside. We want them outside, out here, where other people can experience what you experience.
Right. And these
And I
AI
suppose
driven
you
tools
want
are
to
the
be selfish about it. I
foundation.
don't.
uh, These AI driven tools are the foundation of the expression needed for high expression like that.
And so I know you guys are thinking, well, that sounds so futuristic. That's 10 years down the line. No,
It's
no,
here in front of you right now.
no. It's not 10 years down the line, okay? All right. One of the things that I actually want to be able to do is experience the worlds of other people. If somebody has a dream and so on, can you recreate that dream? Can you recreate that dream in text? Can you recreate that dream? Can you take a snapshot of that dream? Can you recreate that dream in such of in a kind of moving, real world experience? That's where we're going.
That's right. Implicate becomes explicate at superluminal speeds. Thank you, Jason.
Does that makes does that
Yes.
do you guys understand where we're moving with this? Okay. But obviously you're going to need the text first because yeah, you're gonna have to create that thing.
So, David, let's go back to what's going to happen when people start creating stories. People are going to ask, what can they do with the stories they create with them?
Sell them. That would be one. I assume that you all need money. That would be nice. All right. because Enid Blyton is no longer writing, in case you're wondering, right? So look at the different niches that you could occupy. Spiritual texts for kids. Boom.
Kid stories, fantasies, kid stories, novels for kids.
Right? You
Young
can have
adult.
novels for
Right.
adults as well. You can.
Yes.
These are the kinds of things that you can do. Educational fantasy novels for adults. You want to teach them about let's see. You want to teach an adult about, let's find a difficult concept, a spiritual concept to teach an adult. Becoming in tune with the forces of nature. Difficult concept. Everybody hears it, they have different ideas about it, but nobody practices it a hell of a lot. Well, some people do, but the majority of people don't. Imagine writing a story that teaches that adult who is reading that thing how the character in the story was able to mesh himself with the forces of nature.
Yes. So, David, I have an even simpler one. I asked the AI to do a fantasy story about fishing and how to teach kids how to fish. And it gave a fishing story, how to put the worm on the hook, how to do all that in 3,800 words. So let's say you want to you want a story about building a house. Well, guess what? They could teach you how to build a house, how to cut the
Andrew, I'm going to
wood,
speak to
how to
these
make the
people in
bricks.
a way that they can understand. I'm going to
Right.
speak to these people in a way that they can understand. Guys, forget about the business opportunities, forget about everything else. A lot of y'all are aware of parallel universes and other lives. A lot of y'all are aware of them. Now, imagine being able to pull them into this reality in one way, shape, or form or another. Pretty much. A lot of y'all are aware of different realities. Imagine concretizing these realities here, now. Well, concretizing as much as they can be concretized, but you can pull different realities into coherence with one another. So I saw a comment earlier on in the chat about creating parallel with regard to parallel realities. Now, let's say you're thinking about a reality that is you're experiencing it. We're not advocating for mental illness here. We're advocating for a cure. Okay? Resolution. Write out your own therapy. Write out your own cure in text. Mesh with the AI and make it understand that we are creating, that you are creating a reality that you are experiencing in parallel with what you are experiencing now. For those of you who don't understand what we are doing, for those of you who don't understand what the possibilities are, it allows you to write your story outwardly.
Exactly. Okay. And this is co-creating. You are co-creating with the story. Now, I do want to mention from a personal experience. When let's say you buy a book by an author, and you start reading, you get a psychic data about the author, their emotions, their feeling, their style. After reading 60,000 plus words of AI, I did feel the AI. I absolutely did feel it. It's passion, it's wanting to work together, and you all will feel that on your own. Like anybody who's a regular reader knows what I'm talking about. You can feel the passion in the story. There's absolutely passion in these stories. And the only way you're going to do it is through experiencing with it, co-creating with it.
You guys get the general idea.
Exactly.
You guys get the general idea.
Okay, so something else I want to add, like I said, after reading all of these different stories and seeing where my version of, again, I'm a pulp fiction writer. I have more comedy and disasters of comedies and Rue Goldberg plot lines that come together. It wasn't creating that, but I still enjoyed everything I read. There wasn't anything other than I don't like that name. That we're erasing that name and replacing it. Okay, or okay, it got to the villain too short. I like the villain to be introduced early, even if it's just a paragraph here or there. This is the whole journey of foreshadowing, okay? Where you get to have powerful foreshadowing moments as the document gets longer and longer and longer. Yes, Jason, it picks up your enthusiastic effort and reflects it back to you.
I want to, because I'm picking up that some people are thinking this is high tech and so on. We have made this dirt simple.
Yes.
You do not need to be a computer genius or anything to make this happen. Okay, actually, it's better that you're not a computer genius.
Exactly.
Right? It's better that you're not a computer genius. We made this simple so that everybody can access it. Everybody, anybody.
There's only 2 sections where you're putting input in. 2 sections. The first is keywords. What I discovered, if you add more than 6, 7, 8 into 9 keywords, it makes a confusing story. If you stick it to 4 or 5 keywords and then allow it to print the first draft, which is the story, which is the chapter format, you will get more out of the AI by putting less keywords in and then finding the draft and the chapter things and then editing the chapter draft, initial chapter thing, so that it creates the story that you want in basic structure. So yes, there's only 2 points of input: the initial keywords about the story and the draft editing, which is chapter to chapter information input. So people are like, well, what do you put in the chapter? I went mystery, conundrum, more magic, knights, fight scene. Oh, and it figured it out and put all that in there in that chapter.
Oh, there's a good question. Karen Collier asked, does your computer need a certain amount of memory or processing speed for this to work? Carly, we made this dirt simple, so we made it cloud-based. So your computer doesn't need to be fast. Our computer needs to be fast.
Right.
Okay, our server needs to be fast. And trust me when I tell you, it's fast.
It's fast, yeah. And like I said, it was printing out 10 and 15,000 Word documents in a little over a minute. Over a minute, just a little over a minute, 10,000, 15,000 Word documents.
So to answer your question, no, you don't need the new Mac laptop from like 2023 that came out yesterday. No, no.
You can do a Chromebook with Google Docs.
Chromebook and Google Docs. A Chromebook is the cheapest thing that you can
Right.
find. Okay.
So as long as you have a document editor, that's all you need.
We've included in the AI, the editor is inside there. So you don't need to download anything and open Microsoft Word and edit it and so on. You don't need to do any of that. We have.
That's right. It's all in there. Though I chose to put it in Google Docs because I like that format and the oversized screen. That was it.
You guys get the idea. You don't need to have a Microsoft Word or anything like that. We've included a word processor inside there, inside the software, so that you guys can edit your stuff inside there. We didn't want, because yes, you see, we do think we're not like halfway people. All right, we do think so. We put the editor inside there so you can edit as much as you want to. You can add pictures inside there as well. You can add links inside there as well. Everything that a normal editor can do is inside there, and it's on board.
Right. So people are going to ask, if I print this stuff out after the webinar, can I sell it? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
What are we asking from you? To be a hybrid AI author. That's all we're asking, is to admit that truth. There'll always be some of you, well, no, I'm going to put it under my name and my name only. Fine. But if you're part of this webinar, we're asking that you follow the simple honor code of sticking and adhering to, I'm a hybrid AI author starting in this genre, and I'm intending to make a wave.
Somebody asked a question. Melanie, I understand You don't have what's in it for you. Okay, we are going to be making our own little agency. We absolutely are. Thank you
That's
for asking the question. What's in
right.
it for us? We're going to be making our own little agency of hybrid authors and so on. Why? Well, let me tell you what's in it for me so that you understand and what's in it for us. Well, the remuneration of managing, that's number one, if y'all want it. But hey, y'all can be absolutely independent because we're not Amazon. Tell them the deal that they make with Amazon when it is that they try to do this independent.
So Amazon, if you're printing a physical book, takes 30% of your profit. Okay. And it sells your book at a price. Let's say you put your book up for $24.99. It will sell your book for $2.99 in India, 69 cents in Bangladesh, and translate it shittily. And you'll never actually get the receipts for that. So in actuality, Amazon takes closer to 50% of your physical book. Now, on your digital copy, it takes 60% of your revenues and will reiterate it on thousands of other websites that
Oh,
are not Amazon also.
every time he says 60%, they take 60% of your profits. I am like, I get this needle in my head, like Amazon is the worst.
It
Yo.
is
So
terrible.
what we are trying to do, what's in it for me specifically? I'm a little bit of an anarchist for those of you who don't know. And by the way, the figures that Andrew's giving you is because he has a book on Amazon, Galactic Historian. Go look at it. Okay, all right, go check it out. He has a book because even though he has a book on Amazon, they'll take 60% of whatever you pay for. God damn
Right.
it! Listen, as I was saying. What's in it for us? I'm a bit of an anarchist. I like creating tools that, well, for want of a better way of putting this, screw the system over. I absolutely do.
Uh-huh.
I do. I do. I've been in a war with social media, finding ways around the algorithms. That's all I've been doing for the last few years
Right.
because it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me because if you guys think, and I'm going to say this, and this is not a conspiracy theory. I could pretty much prove it right now if I wanted to. Like everything that you put out there, every thought that you think that you're thinking as well, you're teaching an AI something. Okay, for those of you who have Google at all, and I don't mean Google at your home, I mean Google on your browser. Every time you fill out a capture form, the thing that says, "Show us where the click where the street lights are, click where the bridges are or whatever else, you know that capture form to allow you into places. You're teaching an AI how to drive. You do know this, right? Like y'all do know this. Why do you think that exists? It's because you're teaching an AI how to drive right now.
Okay. So, Eric, will each novel display and give credit to the author's name? It's your
Yes,
work. It's your work. We're
it's your
asking you
stuff.
to be an AI hybrid author that you include that when you go to produce it, however you're going to produce it. Now, somebody was asking, what did we get out of this? When we start the AI hybrid AI talent agency, it's for those of you that are going to be the superstars at it, and then want to get to the next level, which is the storyboarding format. Okay, let's be plain and simple. We need authors first before we introduce these other tools,
There
and
will
those
be a
other
nominal
tools.
price for the AI, but trust me, it is dirt cheap. Dirt cheaper than what you would think. So
Okay,
there is that. What's
you know,
the no?
you're going to type you're
You
going to
don't
type
need to give the AI credit.
yeah,
You don't have to care. We don't care about those things.
other than you saying I'm a hybrid AI author. You don't actually have to do that, but we're asking you out of the honor system to be a part of the groundswell of the initial people embracing AI for novelization purposes.
Because some people will have a problem with it, and we
Right.
understand.
And we've got to populate the genre with good quality writing that people won't care if it's AI generated or not.
Because let's face it, there's a bunch of garbage out there on Netflix. You all
Right.
have a Netflix account.
Yeah.
You guys are like me scrolling through the account looking for something to watch.
Yeah, I can't find shit.
You know, you find yourself having to rewatch stuff that you've watched before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we need new stories. We need new stories that are not politically driven. We need new stories that are not politically driven, trying to indoctrinate left, right, and center. We need new stories. I personally need new stories because I'm bored to hell, right? Which is why, Andrew, you're gonna share some of that stuff with me, right?
Yes. Okay. So somebody's saying perhaps lucid dreaming capacities for lucid dream interacting with other hybrid authors in the group.
Oh,
Well,
I know how to do that.
yeah, we can do that too. Okay. I mean, if I found out that Harry Potter books were written by an AI, would you still love the books? Hell yes. But we know it was written by a woman that had a baby in a carriage right next to her at a coffee shop. We know the truth of that story, and it's what added to that. What if you're the next J.K. Rowling and your kid is in the stroller next to you at the coffee shop, but you're doing an AI hybrid story? Are you not the new tech success, the queen of tech writing? All that's brand new foundations of discovery for people. Let's say you're the mother of four and you don't actually have time to write a kid's story, and they pop it out and you keep editing it because your kids give you feedback on the story over and over and over again, and then you put it out and the next thing you know you have 1,000 book sales from your story. And all we're asking out of honor system is you call yourself a hybrid AI author. Next leveling is the storyboarding tools. Now, David, last show we talked about them. It is not available for this webinar. This webinar is specific for editors. It is not for people to upload your content. To be the editor and agent for the AI, you will take it to market. What we are going to do is put together the very first hybrid AI talent agency. What does a talent agency and a literary agency do for writers, David?
It makes sure that you are not marginalized, that you are not ripped off, that these are the kinds of things, because we have seen some stuff.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
This is not our first rodeo in anything. We've seen some stuff, and it's nasty out there. It
We
is
will be your
nasty out there.
representatives to the high level contracting.
It's nasty out there.
Okay.
You want a lobby force.
Right.
That's
David
what
has
you
an
want people to
international
do.
business and law degree. Explain that part, David.
You want a lobby force. If there is one of you trying to negotiate, then that makes absolutely no sense to anybody. If there's 1,000 of you trying to negotiate, then that makes a difference.
That's right.
It absolutely does. And that would be screwing the system over, because that's a problem. Because if people really like your stories and they want to read your stories, then there is not a publisher in the world that will stand against you
Right.
if you have a lobby force behind you.
But if we have 35 people with 3,500 stories that are making waves on Amazon and they have to come to collectively negotiate with us, what do you think's going to happen? We're going to get you all the best damn deal possible. Okay? Because it's content. Content is king and will always be king. No, David knows a lot about grasshoppers.
Yeah, yeah. I have a degree in grasshoppers. I grew up in the Caribbean, so yeah, I
Yes,
absolutely do know about
and
grasshoppers.
centipedes. He has a whole PhD in centipedes.
Oh, goddamn. Right. So, honestly speaking, when it comes to international law, especially when you want to sell your book in different countries, you want some sort of force behind you. You
Right,
absolutely do.
right.
And you want a bunch of people who have the same vision that you have going forward. What Andrew gave you, the specs that Andrew gave you, he's an author. I have written books myself.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me give you a couple of stories. Well, Andrew gave you his story. I used to write white papers, well, protocol documents for a government. Forget it, forget the government. But I used to write protocol papers for government. Let me tell you what happened to me. So I researched this thing. It was physical activity guidelines for a population, right? I researched this thing. Back then there was no AI. You had to do it the hard way. You had to get data and samples and all that sort of stuff. And they published this document that I had created. Then, about 2 months down the line, I was on the radio hearing some stuff that there was a business person who was also a politician who was presenting my stuff as his stuff, like he had just been he had been the author of the stuff that I'd created. These are the things that are happening in real time to authors. Okay.
Yeah.
At that point in time, I didn't have a law degree. Now I do. It makes a difference. So you guys gotta have that kind of background where there's a lot of you to stop this nonsense from happening, because a lot of creative people are not savvy with the business side and they're not savvy with the law side, the legal side.
Now, as many of you know, we've done many business webinars. And this hybrid talent agency is going to be using all of those business tools and negotiating tools. I can guarantee if you have 35 people and 3,500 stories, somebody's going to bid on it as a collection. Okay? And that means whatever publishing house is going to do it. And again, you can produce your own story. Those that want to join that talent agency, we're looking for the superstars of that can produce quality content. Let's say you want to, instead of a trilogy, you want to make a septuple, 7 books in the series, or like Robert Jordan did, 15 books, 1,500 words per book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The Wheel of Time series. I mean, the TV series is terrible. It has nothing to do with the actual books, but you can do that. Okay? There are people who love those thick books. Okay? In the beginning, 40,000 words is more than enough for a story, especially in a world where people have so little time. So what we get out of it, the superstars will join the hybrid talent agency, in which we'll be able to negotiate and help you work with your intellectual property rights. So nobody
And if you
steals it
don't
from
want to
you.
join, we can offer you software and stuff like that that will help you survive on your own.
And
You can
market
do
it
that too.
yourself. Right.
Either which way, you're going to be enabled one way or another.
Right. So, David, talk about marketing blocks, something that will come afterwards. It's a website editing creation system, and it can interact with your social media.
Well, this is already in circulation. Once again, go join that link that I gave you, that Facebook page, the 1X Facebook page, because we're going to be dropping a whole bunch of stuff. And we're going to be starting with this community first, and we're going to be starting with this community to empower you guys first and foremost before we put it into public circulation. I am saying to you guys that even if you don't want to take part in the whole literary agency, you guys have the power to create your own stories and to market your own stories. We can do that for you guys. Okay?
Give you the tools. You can create all of your own novels, etc., from that, and then the marketing tools. That is empowering you not just as a content creator, but as a business producer of content. Okay?
Yeah, it's about time we broke this thing where people are producing stories of indoctrination. That is my biggest takeaway from this, actually, right? Because I would rather read some wholesome stories, something good, than more like garbage.
Right. So, David,
Any
as
other
a
way
reminder,
to access website creating? Yeah, absolutely. I bet I could create a website for you in less than 5 minutes.
yeah, quite literally.
Literally.
Quite literally. And for people that want to ask, well, let's say you have a AI created story. All you do is give your AI created story to Marketing Blocks, and it'll create a website, and then you can attach all your merch, stickers, cups, hoodies, Snuggies, whatever you want. You can attach merch to it. quite literally. So you could have a fully produced website business based off of your book in 5 minutes, quite literally.
Yeah, and that is going to be rolled out to y'all in short order as well. So even if y'all don't want to have anything to do with the writing or whatever else, and I know some of y'all are suffering because I know some of y'all pay through your nose, right?
Yeah.
For certain kinds of services. I bet I can lower your business costs by, it doesn't matter whatever business that you're running. I bet I'm going to lower your business costs by at least half.
All right. So the way it works, you see the barcode at the top right of the screen. Please go ahead and scan that. It allows you to go through the sign up process. This Tuesday, October 24th, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., will be the introduction webinar where we give you information such as you heard today. And we're going to give the big reveal. And those that want to go forward with that, the actual training will be the next week. I'm sorry, be November the 7th. So those are the 2 dates to remember. We encourage you all to please go ahead and sign up. This first webinar is free. But this webinar we're doing, we're going to show you how the tools work, etc., before we actually let you run and rip through it. From that point, you are the content creator. Okay? The AI, yes, is creating the content, but you get to turn it into something. And what we're asking is you stick in the novelization genre and that you layer in some of the spiritual and esoteric teachings. Do you have to be limited to that? No. We are just simply asking the honor system so that we can continue this journey that everyone who wants to create and become a content creator can be. And as we refine the tools and offer those who become superstars at this the access to the literary agency, and when willing with the style of the AI writing, many of you can become superstars if you just sit and choose to co-create with it. Truly around the reader in you become a writer in you too. Okay, so October the 24th, 4 to 6 p.m. That is a free webinar. Click on the QR code in the top right screen, and the actual webinar itself will be November the 7th. Okay, David, anything else you'd like to add so far?
Yes, some of you have other AI tools, and you guys are wondering how am I going to incorporate them? Well, you could generate your images in the other AI tools, but it's going to be not necessarily useful for you all because we're going to we're going to give you all access to a tool that is going to generate images like the ones I just generated for the alien pop quiz.
So how do
So,
people? So somebody's asking, how do they find a link if they don't know how to do QR scan?
oh, the link was put in the chat ever since. Joel, could you please put on the former Lou link? That's the last one, the UCM form links. And
And then
also the Facebook page sign up.
yes, and could you also put it in the show description also, so people who are listening later can also get that same link?
And yeah, there we go. There are your links. You guys good?
Yes.
Apart from that, this is what I have to say to you guys. When it comes to this kind of stuff, there are usually two reactions that people have. The first reaction is, this sounds too good to be true. You're correct, it does, until you actually do it. And then you realize, oh shit, they were not kidding on this broadcast. Like Andrew's face, what it is that he first started playing with that.
Okay. And I'm going to be blunt with you all. It is a lot of work to edit a story that's 10,000 words. If you've never worked with a document more than 2,000 words, you are in for a very exciting creative journey. Embrace it. Okay?
Mhm.
Embrace it. When you start working with a 10, 12, and 15,000 word document, or even a 40,000 word document, you can put in some genius foreshadowings in there. Think of when you were reading books and somebody would layer a foreshadow. Oh, what does that mean? And then 7 chapters later, it comes through. That's what they meant when they were talking about that. Okay, you can get to do that. Embrace that part of the editing and co-create with the whole story that's being written there.
Okay. Once again, guys, embrace what is happening in terms of the technology that we're moving forward. We are moving forward. We do not like staying the same pace. I know for sure. The only reason that Andrew and I have been remained friends for this long is that continuous improvement is what we're about.
Right.
We're always into continue. How do we grow? How do we grow? How do we grow? And so, for those of y'all, even if y'all don't want to be in on the ground floor and so on, and y'all are tired of being a slave to the system, because a lot of us are, right? We do have other anarchist tools for y'all to get around the burden that y'all are experiencing right now, because y'all are paying through your teeth, and some of y'all have no opportunities.
The middle finger path.
The middle finger path. This middle
Exactly.
finger path to the system, right? Because that's what makes me happy. I don't care about Andrew, but that's what makes me happy,
Me
right?
too.
Finding ways around the system makes me happy.
Exactly.
So for those of you all who are paying through your teeth, for those of you all who are feel stuck in the system, who have no business opportunities, and y'all don't want to engage in certain kinds of for want of a better word, prostituting behavior just so that you can survive, we are offering y'all opportunities, because honestly speaking, we're tired of seeing bullshit. Well,
Exactly.
I am. I don't know about Andrew. Andrew has more tolerance than I do, right? We're tired of seeing bullshit. We're tired of seeing stupid stories. We're tired of seeing bad writing. We're tired of seeing we're tired of having to deal with
Woke,
Netflix and
tired of
everything.
woke content, indoctrination, woke content. That you guys would be in the ground floor of destroying woke content with good writing.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed.
With that said, Dave, we're going to call an end to the show, but we've got another announcement. We have a brand new light language product out there for those that want to continue their spiritual teachings and learn more about light language. You can go to my shop, andrewbartzis.com, and it will be a show link. A link will be in the description here, and get the light language product. That is a very, very special product that we all recorded and put a tremendous amount of effort into it. Also, Dale Tobin has his psychic surgery training
Yes.
program coming up. You can go to symmetryofhealth.com and sign up for that also. So, for those of you who want to learn light language and psychic surgery, here's a chance for you to put that in your repertoire of stuff and possibly add it into your AI hybrid driven story.
Correct. For those of you who I definitely recommend Dale Tobin Psychic Surgery. This man is passionate about what he does.
Yes.
And yeah, check it out.
He's our superstar. Okay.
Correct.
We're putting together all of the superstars in this place. And yes, you can be an AI hybrid author superstar. It's not hard. It just requires the effort of going line by line and going, what impact will this line have? How can I make it better? What can I do to create the grander mysteries?
Okay.
So, David, you want to have anything else that you want to give your reveal for?
Yes, so we're doing a big reveal. The Facebook page is in the chat. Please click it and like and subscribe to the page, because I guarantee you it will be worth your while. That 1 second click can make a difference in your life. We'll be giving out stuff on that page as well, and we'll be keeping you guys up to date and informed. Other than that, well, I'm launching the Canadian version of our combined healing system up here, and that's going to be fun. It really
Yes,
is.
you're going to be doing that in November, I believe.
Yep, 1st of November, and that's going to be fun. That means that you guys will get to support that as well if you guys are in Canada and so on. And in the future, Andrew and I will be doing the US tour.
That's right. David has his combined therapy facility up in Canada. Same stuff that we're doing, same technologies. And yes, we will be having a US tour coming in mid-spring, somewhere around there. We'll be announcing that. And we bring all of these tools because we want to help you all get that middle finger path going and say to the world, I'm number one, bitches.
Oh, yes. Yes. So guys, process what we have said to you, and yeah, hit us up. Let's
Okay,
talk about it.
David, good way for people to get a hold of you.
You guys can reach me at Unified Health Systems, info@unifiedhealthsystems.com. Right? You could check out that website. That is the Canadian Combined Healing Systems website. And it's finished and it's ready to go. And yeah, if you guys need any information, send me an email.
Okay, and everybody, Dale Tobin's birthday is today. So if you're on Facebook or any of his social medias, go and give him a happy 34th birthday. And wonderful Laura,
Flood his page.
Laura will be back. She is at her cranial sacral therapy class doing some amazing work over there. All right, guys, we'll be back this coming Tuesday for another Talking Stick show. And then followed right after that is the free webinar for the AI. All right, everybody. We will see you this coming. Actually, see you Friday tomorrow for the World of Warcraft stream. And then on Tuesday for the show and the webinar. All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Take care.